For about a week, Wansee Entertainment's channel was not popping up in my YouTube feed. Went to his channel and it wasn't there, and there was a couple of people commenting about his channel getting hacked. Now, I sent an email to Wansee and I didn't get a response back, so I wasn't sure exactly what happened, but his channel is back now. So if you guys know, you can let me know in the comments. I would love to know that everything's just okay. That's got to be one of the worst fears that any YouTuber can hit, is getting their channel hijacked, because you work so long and so hard to get your subscribers and views and all of this stuff, and for it to just be taken away in a moment's notice is very, very scary. It's happened to me before on some social media accounts that I ended up getting back, and I was really, really scared. So you guys be careful out there. At any rate, today we got another Wansee story, finally. So guys, make sure to subscribe to Wansee. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, and let's get into this one. Saw the people burying
I grew up in the Upper
someone.
Peninsula of Michigan. My family moved up there when I was about 6 months old.
Okay.
I was originally born in a small town called Mount Clemens.
All right.
It's the same town that Dean Cain from The Adventures of Lewis and Clark was born in.
Oh, cool.
I suppose that's my biggest claim to fame.
Okay.
Michigan is quite a unique state, the way it's positioned on the northern border of the U.S.
Very
and
cold
the southern
from what I
border
hear.
of Canada. Those of us that are born in Michigan usually stay here, and no one ever travels to my neck of the woods. There's no real way to just pass by,
Right.
and we're landlocked by
You
the
have to
Great
go there.
Lakes, if that makes sense.
Sure.
With the exception of the large cities, the state is mostly covered by woodlands. I have a few strange experiences living in the Upper Peninsula, but none
Like
stranger
what?
than the one I'm about to tell. We lived on top of a hill, about a 30-minute drive to the nearest town.
Okay.
Our next-door neighbors were a good 10 miles away.
Wow.
It was quiet. Few, if any, vehicles ever came by the house.
Very,
I
very
developed
quiet.
a strange fear of vehicles coming up the hill. It seemed like you could hear them for miles. I mean, of course, there were others who lived on our road.
Right.
But this wasn't a place for outsiders to take shortcuts.
Sure.
We didn't even have names for our roads. They were all designated by numbers.
Wow.
When I got older, I wasn't too excited or afraid when vehicles would pass by. During the day, I knew most of the cars and trucks that our distant neighbors drove.
Yeah.
When night came, well, that was a different story.
Okay.
I could see the headlights cutting through my bedroom window
Sure.
and light up my walls like some kind of ominous paint.
Right.
It's a hard feeling to describe, but in my young mind, I felt that no one had any business driving down such a remote road at any point after dark.
I mean,
At the time, I was
as a
about
youth,
13.
I was
The year was
irrationally scared
1996.
of a lot of stuff, you know.
Our family, amazingly,
13 years old now.
had just acquired internet. Anyone
Okay.
that's in their mid to late 30s knows how insane this time was.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, at this time, my dad installed a glass sliding door on the wall near where the computer was.
Okay.
The computer used to be the hub of our home at the time,
Sure.
unlike nowadays where every family member has their own computer, plus a billion other gadgets in their pocket.
Right.
So having the sliding door open up to the scenery of the countryside from the computer desk
Very
was
nice.
actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I appreciated it for about 2 days
I wish I had a
before
big
one of
window
the
in here.
strangest things I've ever seen occurred. I was up late on a
Like?
Saturday night on the computer, like usual.
Sure.
In those days, I was probably messing around in the Yahoo chat rooms, or maybe
Yeah.
playing Myst.
MIRC.
I mostly felt it at first, the low rumbling of a truck engine,
Yeah.
creeping slowly down the main road. The truck passed by our house, and then stopped.
Uh-oh.
The long-forgotten fear I mentioned earlier came roaring back like a freight train.
Right.
Nothing good would come from a suspicious truck driving down our road at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And
What I
stopping
saw
by your
next
house.
has burned itself inside my head. I can
Somebody
still recall
buried
it
a
as
body,
clear
huh?
as day.
That's
The
what the
truck
title is, at
screeched to a
least.
stop. A man flung open the passenger side door and quickly hustled over to the driver's side. This was all taking place too far away for me to give a really good physical description,
All
but I
right.
could tell the passenger was much larger than the driver.
Sure.
He wore some kind of puffy vest, jeans,
So
and
what
one
in
of
the
those
world is he
trucker-style
doing?
caps.
He was in the
He
car.
grabbed the driver and dragged him out of the truck, then slammed him against the tailgate.
Wow.
He seemed to be shouting orders at the driver, motioning him to open the tailgate.
Uh-oh.
When he did, I saw the driver turn to the bigger guy, as if he was hesitating out of fear.
Sure.
Even at a distance, I could see this clearly. The driver was unnerved, and his partner
Shovel.
forcefully handed him a shovel.
Why would you do this at
The
someone's
passenger
house?
then pointed to a spot on the side of the road behind the truck. The panicked driver began to frantically dig where the passenger had pointed to. He dug for about 3 to 4 minutes, paused, then looked at the driver, and the two exchanged some words that I couldn't quite make out.
Sure.
The passenger then dragged something out of the bed of the truck.
Wow.
I can only
Freaking body
describe it as a
bag.
closed sleeping bag, with a body still inside.
Yeah.
The passenger walked over to the shallow grave and tossed it in.
You know how
The two men then made a
much
poor
you have
attempt
to
of
dig
covering the hole
for a
before they
shallow
sped
grave
off.
right next to somebody's
You may
house,
be
even in a
asking,
remote area?
Well, did you go out and see what they buried?
No,
And the
hell
answer
no.
is surely what you would expect. Of course I did.
What?
And that's the
not what I
creepiest
expect.
part of all.
I'd say hell
When I
no.
went out to the road the next morning,
I'd call the cops.
the hole
I just dug a
was
hole in my
empty.
yard.
I knew what I saw. There was even the tire tracks from the night before.
Well, the hole's there,
But
so...
whatever they threw into that hole was gone. I looked to the opposite side of the burial and was horrified to see footprints in the dirt.
Maybe they were
leading
still
straight
alive.
into the
Maybe they didn't
forest.
kill him.
I had no idea what to make of it. I've repressed this memory for so long and just wanted to pretend that it never happened.
Why didn't you tell your parents?
Aside from a few close friends, I've never told anyone about this. I believe that bag they threw into the ground had someone in it. And
Yeah.
They thought that person was dead.
And they got out.
However, based on what I saw the next morning,
Can you imagine waking
they
up
were
buried?
wrong. You can chalk this all up to teenage imagination if you like,
Could be.
but I stand by what I say. There are some things in this world that you'll never be able to explain,
Right.
and even if you could, chances are you wouldn't care much for the answer.
No. Absolutely not. You know, it strikes me as crazy that if you saw this happening outside your house, even if it's remote and you know it's remote, like you call the police, somebody just dug a grave on the side of your house, you're gonna go outside running out and checking it? I don't understand people's, you know, he had this irrational fear, especially too. Why in the world would you go out, you know? I don't understand, you guys. Wansee Entertainment, it's good that he's back, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos. Thanks so much for watching. As always, it's Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.